Hi, cutie. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to Foodie Paw Studio. So I know it's been a couple of weeks since I last uploaded a Foodie Paw video, drawing video, and so today we are back with that. So I've actually been prepping for my my summer shop, and I am working on it pretty soon. I will be showing the webpage for you once next week starts. And so summer is coming tomorrow, so I do want you all to look forward to it. And what I'm going to be doing today, I've actually been stuck with playing Animal Crossing for the past week or so. I'm still kind of at the beginning. As you can see, I have a few of the Nook Cranny, the old version of Nook Cranny, not the fancy version. For some reason, I find that actually pretty cute, and so I'm actually going to be drawing the Nook Cranny today in my style of drawing. Now, I did do a draft of this earlier. It came out good, but at the same time, I do prefer the uncolored version of it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a bigger size, and yes, I will be using a pencil, but these are the things that I'm gonna be using today. So what we have here is the Lamy Safari, and this here is not my first time using the Lamy Safari. I've been using it for my trip and everything, but I finally actually got a connector. So I have the nib also adjusted. So this here is the medium nib, and then so as I unscrew this, you'll see this here is the connector, the converter. So I eventually filled it up with this here Tom Studio. And the reason why I like using this is because it is supposedly waterproof. When I say supposedly, it is supposedly, because my the first drawing that I did of the studio here was not the way I wanted it to be. So let's go ahead and start drawing the Nook Cranny, not to waste anyone's time. I do want it to be a bit bigger. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off. Before I start off, I do want to let you know I'm left-handed. I know most left-handers have a lot of issues with the nib, and so that's probably why I pick up the medium nib. But I'm gonna get started. The initial drawing is actually pretty small, so this here I'm gonna start. Oh, I was gonna start with a pencil. My bad. I'll start with a pencil just to get the size correct, because I don't want that to be an issue. And if you're asking me what kind of paper am I using, I'm using the Kokuyo loose leaf paper. So I'm doing this just to block out a little bit of the items here. And then now instead of animals, I'm going to be adding a few things that I wanted to add into my chart. So we have a few here. We do have some flowers that I took, so I'm going to add that here instead. So today I've actually been trying to build more of the Nook Cranny. I finally got to the part where I could have a Japanese fence. So I'm waiting for the flowers in the game to grow. I can't wait to see how it looks. So we have a few flowers here, and then we'll have a couple of other flowers. Now this is not going to be like entirely Nook Cranny. Instead of a raccoon, we're going for kitty. I am Foodie Paw Studio after all. I'm gonna do a cat. But because I'm saving time, I will not be showing the cat on here. We're just gonna be drawing the Nook Cranny for you. And you see here the setup is a little bit different from the last time. I will eventually move away from showing my face because I like the convenience of not having to show my face. I can show my face sometimes, but not all the time. Okay, so what we have here, I have a little bit of a draft here. And now we're going to go ahead and use the Lamy. By the way, that is a regular pencil. I don't use any special pencil as much as I want one. But because I really use pencil, I don't see the point of me getting one of those popular looking ones. If you know what I mean. The black wing. And I'm not expecting that the lines look straight. They're not going to be straight. There's one thing I have to be careful of is the writing there. Nook Cranny. So for those of you that are watching, do you like Animal Crossing? Do you play Animal Crossing? If you do, let me know. I am a bit of a late player here now that the Switch 2 is out. But there is a lot of reasons why. I actually bought Animal Crossing 2 years ago. Yet I still haven't played it. But I am familiar with not the characters, but I am familiar with some of the characters in this. And now I know here that Timmy and Tommy are responsible for Nook Cranny. They are the cutest, y'all. And a lot of people think he's a raccoon, but he's a tanuki. Now, urban style drawing, this generally would not say Nook Cranny. This would just be like gibberish here. But because of that, I wanted to make it like this. And generally here, this would be like a quick sketch. But I am going to draw it my way, now that I draw the first draft. So that's that. Now we're gonna go ahead and make the roof. And my cat is meowing because he just had her food. Ain't that right, Kiwi? Okay. So here's the roof. Earlier I made the roof a bit bigger. I mean a bit smaller, like the ridges. Just because I was very nervous drawing, and I'm not gonna lie, I have to be home alone when I am recording because I get really awkward when it comes to filming in front of others, which is sad, but even though I'm not showing my face, I do like to talk on camera. It's not in an equal number. I'll add this one here then. Here. Okay. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of this here for the roof. Alright. So I have that. I'm gonna start a bit small. I know people like to start with, oh, draw the shape first. This and that. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do the shape first. I already did do here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make that come this way. Okay, so this here is also important. I care a lot about my resources. I try to have enough resources. Now, when I first started playing Animal Crossing, I did not understand that this was a you have to wait each day. And it is somewhat of a good thing. I kind of like it, and at the same time I don't like it. And the reason is because it, how do you say it? You have to wait. And I'm not that patient with waiting for my crop to grow. But it makes sense to have something for you to look forward to every day. Oh no, it's smeared. Crap, okay. I don't recall getting smeared. Where did this come from? Alright. So at least here, when you draw with these inks here, I usually just hatch it away because that's where I mess up. Okay, so you got that. Yeah. Now the other thing here we have is that lantern there, and then we have the door. Now I have to make sure that the door is tall enough and not too much gap. So that should be right there, it should be good. I'm gonna add a little bit of a little step here because okay. And then here we're gonna go so everybody had their own way when it comes to what's it called, urban sketching. No, I'm actually not in front of a building or anything, as you can tell with Animal Crossing, and so bear with me here. I just call it Animal Crossing Urban Sketching because that's the style I am going for, which is using pen and ink. So you asked me, it is a pen and ink drawing. So we have the door ready. And now the last time I had a little trouble with the window, so let me go ahead and make the bulletin board first. So this is the bulletin board with the information. Okay, next one is going to be the window. This is how I'm going to start with the window because I don't know how else I'm going to do the window that doesn't make it look good. Does this look funny? Because why am I drawing a window like this? There we go. So here, this is the rough sketch of Nook's Cranny. Now, there are details that I'm going to add right now. There's a bucket here, but instead of that, I'm going to add some flowers that are kind of like in here. Bouquet of flower. Then I am debating on putting a cat there because everything looked better with cat. Okay. And then here, I could add a little bit of this other type of flower. Some people like to draw freehand, and that's what I'm doing. But to make it better, it's better to do guidelines. And another day, I'm gonna show you how I draw people using pen and ink. There we go. So that's that. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some of the details. And supposedly a very thin line of wood. Now I initially colored it in and it did not want to work really nice. What I mean is that the Tom Studio is supposed to be a waterproof. Maybe I did not wait for it to dry enough, and so it messed up the drawing. So there's the wood. Then here is also the wood. Okay. Okay, so as you can see here, this part of the roof, I'm still gonna add a little of this here to add some dimension, and it's not gonna be all full here. Okay, so we have this here. It does look like a lot of detail, but it doesn't bother me. So what I'm doing right now here is I am kind of thickening the line for the actual thing that should be a bit more bolder, thing that popped out. Then here, this is one thing that got pop out, but I'm only gonna put it on the corner. So if you all like this video, do give this video a thumbs up and give me a subscribe. I will be releasing more videos, but do understand here that I may be busy making things for my art shop now that summer is here. Okay, so we have this so far, looking pretty good. Now generally I like to have just ink, but there's something fun about not just having ink. So, one thing I like to talk about here is, I generally don't do fan art. I like to have my own kind of drawing, but sometimes you just want to draw for fun, and this is probably one of it. Like the last fan art I did with Dawn from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. And this screamed Nintendo all over. I know. But people like them. I'll go ahead and add in more depth. Okay, so we are actually pretty much done with the drawing. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to take a picture of the drawing, and then what we're gonna do is I am going to crank up the contrast and saturation just a little bit, and I will have this as a downloadable coloring page for you all to download if you like to color it. The reason I'm drawing this is because I wanted to enjoy the process of coloring it too. This is so cute. Looking pretty good so far. So that's that. Just a little bit of this here. Now notice how I didn't freak out over this little blot here. And that is because with the ink drawing, I like you doing like a real colored, an actual colored illustration, and not this style. You shouldn't freak out about it. It's part of, that is why I like pen and ink drawing, because it's forgiving in a way. Now a great tree behind this would be